I need you to call the cops. We have a situation.
Okay.
Paul Feinbaum and Colin Cowherd stole my hot take. Because we didn't record this in the morning, understandable why we couldn't. They stole my hot take. So now I got to give you a version that seems like I'm just listening to ESPN and Fox, but it's mine. We need to call IT, check my computer for spyware. That guy stealing Jim Harbaugh's signs in the Big Ten, he's stealing my bits.
Bits. I like how you call them bits.
They're my bits.
Your bits.
The SEC is watered down. This is Big Ten, baby. The Big Ten has surpassed the SEC, Big Ben, in college football.
We need a shirt that says, "Don't steal my bits."
Don't steal my bits.
Before we get into that, I do want to tell you about Magic Mind. 2 kids now, no time in the morning, no time to do your little roast your coffee, your little pour. I don't have time for that. I need something quick. I need something fast. I need something with the goodness that Magic Mind can bring, like that. And I pop it in. All of a sudden I arise. I'm ready to go. It's got all the probiotics, prebiotics, everything you need in a supplement in a small little tiny vial. Magic Mind. I wake up clear, ready to go. My daughters think I'm a superhero. Let's go. Magic Mind.
You've got the Magic Mind mental performance shot, and you've got the Magic Mind Sleep, a 2-for-1 offer. Magic Mind Sleep helps me and Big Ben get to sleep faster for a deeper sleep. The mental performance shot, it's clean, crisp, energy. It's a time-release caffeine. You know when you drink those sugary drinks, we have those spikes in caffeine? Yeah. Not with Magic Mind.
Good.
They've got 12 natural ingredients, and those ingredients help you sustain your caffeine, your energy all day. And with this bundle, you check out our promo link. It is magicmind.com/Big Ben K-Win Jam. And you get 45% off of this bundle. If you're watching this live, click on the QR code. If you're watching this on demand or later, just go on and check it out. And get your 2025 started right with Magic Mind.
I might scan that right now. It's working so well for me.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got on the pod?
We've got the Big Ten has passed the SEC in football.
Is it just more money in the Big Ten, you think?
I'm glad you asked, Big Ben.
Hold on. Let me reel back that
I got
comment.
some notes here.
Let me reel back that comment before you get in your notes. I know you got copies. Anytime someone makes notes, they feel like they have to get them out. Just 1 second. Last night's game. I want to ask you this. You take Will Howard.
Yeah.
You just flip-flop the quarterbacks. Is anything different? Leonard?
Probably not.
Nothing, right? It's the first
time. They kind of
time.
look alike.
They do. But it's the first time we've seen a game where the quarterback didn't determine the outcome. Like the skill position players, the front 7, probably the front 4 on both sides. It was just a matter of talent wins out and money now buys championships in college football. Because why? Ohio State's been said to have spent $20 million on the team. They are the Dodgers of the NCAA. And it worked. Unfortunately, it worked. Because now what are we going to see, K1? SEC donor pockets. All those guys that own car lots, they're selling them just to buy players. And it's going to be interesting because you look at all these players and how they've moved around. A lot of Ohio State's guys are portal guys.
Yeah.
You had one, I think their running back played at Ole Miss, had like 38 touchdowns, Ole Miss, and then transferred to Ohio State. That's ridiculous. He should have probably been in the NFL, but he's probably getting more money at Ohio State than he would have got at the NFL.
Yeah.
Now he's got a natty. The game of college football has changed. And Ohio State winning it last night just proved that. And it's going to continue on that trajectory.
So we've got back-to-back national championship games. 0 SEC teams. Back-to-back national championship winners from the Big Ten. You've got Michigan. Now you've got Ohio State. And here's what is happening. You said someone's going to go open their car dealership or reach into their pockets. I don't think their pockets are as big enough as the Big Ten. Like, look at the media markets and where the schools are located in the Big Ten now.
Sure.
Los Angeles, kind of around Chicago. You've got New York, like tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Oregon Duck Phil Knight money.
Yep.
If SC can ever figure it out, you've got that whole SC network in LA.
Yep.
You've got Ohio State. You've got Michigan. And
You
the
got
SEC,
Seattle.
like Saban got out right at the right time. The AD asked the alumni to donate money. Do you think anyone at USC has to be asked to donate money?
No.
Or at Oregon?
No.
So I feel like there's a shift in before the SEC would just stack all these 5-star recruits. And if you're a 5-star and you're behind a 5-star, that was okay because you're going to wait and you
Right.
were going to find your time. Now it's like, I'm not backing up someone going to the pro. I'm going to start and get 2 to 3 million at a Big Ten school, or I'll go to the University of Miami and be on TikTok making money.
You're saying Starkville, Mississippi doesn't carry the same weight as, say, to your point, LA, right? In the way of revenue and from TV dollars, effectively, right? Because that's
And
who
I'm
you're
saying
looking into.
alumni too, right? Like I don't want to really make fun of the SEC alum because they're great schools, but where are these?
You're looking
Big
at
Ten
affluency in income, yeah,
Yeah.
affluency in income across the different cities and where these schools are located. And you're exactly right. The Big Ten, and I think they almost benefited. I don't know your take on this. I think they benefited from only having like a top 2, top 3, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Oregon benefited from getting all those schools. Hey, the league's kind of paltry behind us. Come play. You'll know you'll probably play for a championship. Same could be said for Ohio State. You go to SEC school and you don't know where you're going to land on the map. You know, we'll see what Sark takes Texas. I think they have the biggest. Texas in the SEC probably has the best in terms of modeling what the Big Ten is doing.
Yes.
Best opportunity, best market, best cachet, best alumni base of all the SEC schools. Alabama now they might not even in the top 5 if you look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Like, look at these names. Caleb Downs, a safety from Ohio State, transferred from Bama. Georgia, 12 players just transferred. Bryce Underwood, he was the 5-star recruit under Brian Kelly. See ya. He's at Michigan now. Like, all these players are leaving, and they're actually going to the Big Ten.
The Big Ten was smart. Remember when they went out and everyone scratched their head? Why would you go get Rutgers, right? Like
It's
they're
the
like,
New
no,
York market.
It's the New York market. That you and I both lived in New York, New Jersey. Rutgers is the only thing going out there, right? And so you get that market, you capture that market. If you're a college football player, you kind of like Rutgers if you're in New York because they're the only thing going. And so you're exactly right. They do. And you look, what's a top 50 media market in the SEC?
Atlanta, but there's no teams in Atlanta, right?
Per se, yeah. Georgia Tech and Georgia are no. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, the tide's shifting quite a bit. We'll see what happens next year. I mean, but with your point of people already transferring, there's more money to be given to the players. Now the revenue from the schools, from the athletic department is now going to be shared to the players.
Yeah.
So even more so, if you have a bigger TV contract, more guaranteed money coming from TV and media rights, the more likely you can pay guys more money. So if you're the Big Ten, you're in the catbird seat.
Well, it's two things, right? It's the media, which the SEC has that because they have deals with the ESPN, but it's the collective. And I feel like the collective, it's the boosters, whatever you want to call it. It's the alumni that once they graduate, they take over a tech company or they go work on Wall Street. That's more than likely to happen in the Big Ten and then the SEC.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. You and I went to that Michigan bar one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, how many people are going to have this Michigan bar in New York? And there was like 1,000 people there. It's insane. Like, these are massive alumni bases. Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, you could even argue that some are probably going to come, like Minnesota. Northwestern's probably going to get smart about this. They're building a new stadium. Like, I don't know if it's going to flip on its head overnight, but you're right. And like I said, I think with Ohio State winning the title at 2 losses, they spent the most money. It's kind of like, you remember when Kentucky would get all the 5-star guys? You'd be like, God, they're horrible. Then all of a sudden they make a Final Four run or win a title. It's kind of like that in football now, where you're getting all these transfer portal guys. You're figuring out how they can play, what they can do. Can they read a playbook? Hopefully they can. And if they can they run what they're supposed to? And when they do, can they make the play? And then you got a year to figure that out.
Well, you're right, because it's chemistry. Whereas before you have returning players, you have a culture. Now it's like 12 games to chemistry, and then you get to the playoffs, and Ohio State peaked at the right time.
Talent wins.
Talent wins.
Talent wins. And we saw it last night. Mr. Smith is just, that guy's got some cojones, and you still couldn't stop him.
Great segue. You might have some spyware on my computer.
I do.
Jeremiah Smith, NFL comp. Who is it? I'll let you think about it as I'll just read off some wide receivers out there. So Jeremiah Smith, he's 6'3", about 220. Jamar Chase, 6 feet, about 200. Justin Jefferson, 6'1", 194. CeeDee Lamb, he's 6'2". Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's 6. AJ Brown, I thought he was big, but he's only 6'1".
He's his own guy, to be honest, and he'd probably tell you that. Like, I think he is. You just get him in space. I think he's a little Tyreek Hill mixed with. I think he could still go up and get it. So, who's your best guy one-on-one? Mike Evans. Mike Evans is what, 6'4", 6'5", right?
It's little combination.
Yeah, a little hybrid between Reek. Get him in space, and then, get me my one-on-one ball and a fade, and I'll go get it. I don't think he's a good he's good. He's good.
He's great.
He's good. He's won 11 straight. Hold on. He's won 11 straight championships at whatever level that he's played at. Apparently, something insane.
Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
here's my comp. Prime time. Not Deion Sanders. Prime. Julio Jones.
Ooh.
Yeah, Julio's 6'3". Julio ran like a 4'3". He's a little faster than Jeremiah Smith. Big, can go get it, can run all the routes, can block.
I like that. I like that a lot. Jeremiah Smith, I mean, I might draft him in my fantasy league right now. He is.
Hold on to him.
He is good. He is good. But that, just on that game, a few more things. I think you looked at, I think Notre Dame, they have said, we're not going to play a conference schedule, right? We kind of like the autonomy and the independence. I think that the bye, even though Ohio State didn't get the bye, not having the bye hurt them. Meaning they didn't have the athletes maybe that Ohio State did, and they're probably worn down. No, you play one more game. And so I think you look at that next year. Now teams will also say, does a bye mean anything? Neither of those teams had a bye going into it. But for teams, I don't know. The ACC said, do we have our teams not play, or where we don't get a title and risk not getting a bye and only to one team in? There's going to be, that's going to play into it. Is all I'm saying is this. There's going to be some chess being played.
They're going to rethink how you schedule.
Yes.
They're going to rethink what you're doing towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And the committee's going to rethink reseeding.
Yeah. God, college football, I don't want it to be this exciting, but it was
so good.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good watching probably the two biggest fan bases in all of college football, albeit away from Michigan, go at it last night. And then Notre Dame maybe make a game out of it.
It was closer than I thought.
It was. It was interesting throughout.
Yeah.
Big plays. And those dudes are big. Did you see who's the linebacker that came up to Coach Day as he was giving his talk? I'm like,
Jack Sawyer?
Holy cow. That guy is big. Big dudes.
Huge.
Big dudes.
Big dudes.
Big dudes in the portal.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Big Ben and K Win. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube. More of an audio podcast. Don't worry. Download, listen, subscribe. 5 stars. Anywhere you get your podcast. Spotify. Got audio and video now. Today, we already talked about the SEC versus the Big Ten. Jeremiah Smith, we're going to get into a little NFL, maybe a little NBA. I don't know if we have time, but I'm K-Win. He's Big Ben. Where do you want to go next?
Let's go NFL real quick. Okay. So,
is that real quick because your Bills are going to win it?
I don't want to talk too much about the Bills. Let's not. All right, let's start with the Bills. Let's just start right there with you.
No. Let's go in order.
Okay.
The first game is Sunday, 12 p.m. Commanders against the Eagles. As of today, line's 5.5, over under 47.5. Weather, it's going to be 30 degrees. I don't think it's going to snow like it did last week.
No snow. God, what a game that was. You could see LA was kind of miffed onto what to do with the snow, but they did the best they could. Almost came back. I think it's going to be what quarterback just doesn't give the ball up. And here's why I say that. Although it's not going to be snowing, you saw what happened to Lamar Jackson in like the elements, right? He got a little tight, got a little lazy with the ball. That's what probably cost him the game. I see that happening in this game. So just whoever doesn't lose the game and this could come down to Hurts maybe taking shots too. The game really didn't play into that at all for the Eagles against the Rams, but it could play into it this week. House money though. The Commanders have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. They're healthy. B-Rob's back. Scary Terry's looking scary again. He's always looked scary, but he's looking especially scary. Brown looks good as a compliment. Like
Austin Eckler is looking like he's back in San Diego.
Ertz, like it's just fire in a bottle for the Commanders. Dan Quinn looks like he wants to get out there and play too.
Yeah.
Let him play. I think I want to say
pick a winner.
Jake Elliott puts one through the uprights as it goes. The Commanders cover, but they lose.
Okay. So we got the Eagles.
Wait, hold on. Do we have any insight into where the refs are from? Are these Philly natives here? Because
I don't know.
I could be completely off.
They're Big Dom's cousins.
There you go.
Eagles, dominant offensive line. They're going to run the ball. I mean, Saquon looked great. He looked faster than everyone else in the snow. Like he had a couple runs at 20 miles an hour in the snow. I think he had over 200 yards. Hurts played well, banged up his knee. I'm curious to see like how healthy he is because he couldn't really get away when they were getting that safety late in the game. So they run a lot of RPOs, which might be pretty non-existent if Hurts can't really run or scramble. So I think he's going to have to throw the ball more, or they might just have to run the ball even more with Saquon.
Yeah, that sack he took, where it was almost like he buckled his knee. Yeah, someone made comment of who's the lefty that played for Boise? That's the offensive coordinator now. Kellen Moore. Thank you. Kellen Moore probably went up to him like, "Yo, what can you do?" Right? Because our playbook, what we run, our scheme, all matters on that. We'll see how he recovers because that's going to play a big part. But Dan Quinn's smart, and the Commanders have a decent front four.
Yeah.
Whatever way he can't run, they're going to be running at him that way. It's going to. So there's going to be some schemes. I think it's a close game either way.
I'm going Commanders.
Ooh.
Jayden Daniels. We all knew he was a mobile quarterback, but we didn't think he was going to look this good in the pocket this early in his career. He looks calm, poised, especially in the fourth quarter. He's leading these drives. He's got Robinson, Eckler, Scary Terry, and who's the guy from North Carolina? Third-round pick, 2021, De'Ami Brown. He's looked great.
Yeah.
I think 13 catches, over 100 yards. I'm going Commanders here.
Zach Ertz looks like Zach Ertz of old. He took some hits at the goal line there a few times. They got gutty. They got Dan Quinn energy, that's for sure.
Big energy. So Commanders go on, and the question after the game is do the Eagles keep Sirianni? Because I feel like he's going to do something at the wrong time, and Jayden Daniels is going to do something at the right time. I'm going Commanders. They're back. And you know what's crazy about all this? It just takes a quarterback to give a franchise hope. And Jayden Daniels has given that franchise so much hope and so much promise. And now what do they need to do? Get more skilled players around him, shore up the defense. But the Commanders are looking good.
If you're that new owner that just bought the team on the low end for, even though it was on the discount, right? Everyone was kind of like, oh, that's the sale rack over there. That's the day olds. Man, you're right. Jayden Daniels. And then everyone's coming out with the narrative, oh, it should have been Jayden over Caleb. Either way, the combination of new ownership, Quinn coming in, you got the players.
Kingsbury.
Yes, Kingsbury. Gronk came out and said, why isn't anyone interviewing Kingsbury? He's a quarterback whisperer, for the most part he has been. We saw what he did with Kyler. It was so, but still just like taking all these parts that didn't work elsewhere.
Yeah.
And now they're working as a collective. They're 1991 was the last time Mr. Gibbs took them to a title. How long ago was that? 34 years, 35 years?
Yeah.
You got a chance. They're 2 games away.
Games away. Who will they play? Bills or the Chiefs?
Oh,
This is the game everyone wanted to see. Everyone wants to see. Bills versus Chiefs. Josh Allen versus Mahomes. Last year, the Chiefs knocked the Bills out. What was it? 2020, I think, before the world ended. That was the overtime thriller when they changed the rules in the overtime game.
Give me the over-under
Okay.
in the who's favored in this?
Chiefs -2, 47.5. It's going to be 34 degrees in the loudest stadium, according to my co-host, Big Ben.
That's balmy. That's balmy 34 for Kansas City this time of year. This is the game everyone wanted to see. And I think here's what I saw from the Bills-Ravens game. One, Josh Allen didn't make the mistakes he normally made years previous. Like, he just didn't. I don't know if it's long hair. I don't know if it's something, like just a bit of maturity came into him where he's not making the horrible mistakes. He's running north and south rather than, trying to evade with putting the ball and throwing interceptions across his body. Like, he's just not making those mistakes. And Lamar made some. But what also I liked was the Bills D. Like, they schemed for Lamar and they executed perfectly. They always had a spy, and they're going to do the same thing with Patrick. But here's the thing. Patrick's not as mobile as Lamar.
No.
And so you're going to see Milano, who's that guy that did all the spying, coming at Mahomes quite a bit. And I don't know if you saw Bateman get behind the defense once. I don't know if you see that out of the Chiefs receivers. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Hollywood Brown. Maybe Xavier.
Oh, you're right. The dynasty's over. No more three-peat. It's done. Travis Kelce, big game last week, but he's a year older and a step slower. And if you look at that offense, they didn't really get anyone else involved. Like, Worthy's still trying to figure out the playbook. Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster, this isn't 2016. Like, Pacheco's just rounding out into shape. Hollywood Brown, I don't know how he's going to fit into that offense. Their defense is the best thing going for the Chiefs. No, I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes is the best thing going for the Chiefs. The second thing is their defense. I'm going Bills here.
It's tough not to go Bills, right? I think, and then even if you look at the line, generally the home team's going to get 3 points. So I think,
or like a couple calls too if you're the Chiefs because they want to see them with the ratings.
Yeah. Whew. Could you imagine they would have lost?
Yeah.
T-Swizz. Not one more home game. A lot of things say, I just think the Bills they're more refined than they have been. I mean, you can see that even
there's more pieces on offense and defense.
Agreed. There's no holes. You're not going, oh, shoot, don't run here, right? And even Von Miller's playing. Von Miller's back. Yeah. Like he had a big play, like a return. So like the pieces that were there the last 5 years that weren't there all collectively, it's kind of like the Commanders. Now they're all there. And like they all know what they need to do. They all know their job. And it looked that way during the Ravens game. They played well.
Top to bottom, this might be the best offensive team for Josh Allen. Like, look at his receivers.
Yep.
Coleman, Shakir, Knox, Amari Cooper. Like, Cook is better.
Yeah.
Ray Davis in the backfield.
Yeah. And you're right. And here's the thing is, like, this is the antithesis of, say, the Chiefs. The Chiefs, of all the players that you mentioned, it's like a basketball team where, like, not one guy's all that great, so they don't know who's going to shoot, so they just set screens each other, hoping someone gets open, right? That's how I feel with the Chiefs. And then Mahomes is the Michael Jordan having to make all the plays. Like I feel like the Bills are
Michael Jordan on the Wizards trying to make all the plays.
Sure, there you go. But I feel like Josh Allen is the guy that like he's the orchestrator now. Like he has pieces and parts that all work together. Like Ray Davis could take 20 carries for any other team, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at Amari Cooper, what he can do. You're right. Coleman can go get one-on-one. You got Shakir working. You got two talented tight ends. Like the pieces are there now. And they're all, like I said, they're 1 year older, 1 year better, one more year in the system working together.
Well, and I think this goes back to your earlier point why Josh isn't like forcing the action when he runs or he throws, because he doesn't have to do it all. Before, he literally had to like throw for 3 touchdowns, run for 2, throw for 300, run for 120 in the playoffs to beat like the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was Diggs and a prayer, right? Throw it up to Diggs and pray. Like that's what the offense was. It's not that anymore.
Not that anymore.
You can take chunks.
Yeah.
Little chunks, little bits.
Little bits. How are we doing on time?
Let's do NBA.
You want to do NBA?
We got to do NBA because I love your segment. I love your idea here. Because I got
OKC. We called it. You called it 2 years ago. You called OKC. You called Shea. The internet wasn't ready for that.
No.
But now they're ready for it. But will they be ready for this? Can OKC win 70 games this year? It's only happened twice. The Bulls did it in 95. The Warriors did it in 2015-16. Warriors won 73. Bulls won 72. OKC's on pace for 70.
Did both those teams win a title?
Warriors didn't. They lost to the Cavs.
Okay. So the question is what? Can they or will they?
Will they win 70 games? I mean, we already know they're going to win the title.
And then the next question is, do they want to win 70 games? And I say that because you got guys, because you and I both know, if you're on a good team, it's like, hey, we can maybe win this game, but that means this guy running another 12 minutes and he's, already exhausted. And like, we got guys maybe playing 10 minutes longer than they should. And that compounds over the course of the year. So do you want to chase games at 50-50 games and get to that mark? Or do you want to preserve and make sure your team's fully healthy going into the playoffs? And here's the other thing. It depends on what everyone does behind you. Because if everyone behind you is winning games and you got to win 70 to get that top seed, you're going to win 70. If the other teams behind you are 62 wins and you can get the top seed at 66, I don't know if 70 is that vital, right? Like it just may not make sense just from a pure like bandwidth threshold capacity of your players.
Here's why 70 makes sense.
Okay.
Chet Holmgren is like, 3 to 5 weeks away? Chet's going to need those valuable minutes towards the end of the year to get to the playoffs. They're going to need him in the rotation with Shea and Jaylen and everyone. So I think that they're going to have to play their guys towards the end of the game the last couple of weeks to get to get Chet ramped up. And second, they're young. Third, they have so much depth. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. They got this guy like Brandon Carlson, an undrafted 7-footer from Utah, coming in banging threes.
He's nuts. He's nuts.
Like,
they're so fun.
They're so fun. They're so deep. They play hard. And the other reason, they got the number 1 defense in the league. So even if they limit Shea's minutes and Jalen Williams' minutes, they're going to limit the other team defensively, and they get 23 points off of turnovers. So, like, they could still win with their depth and their defense and with Chet coming back. I say they get 70.
All right, get to 70. Do it. I love it. I mean, think about it. Like, people are like, who's won 70 games? Let's see. The Chicago Bulls. Oh, that makes sense. Golden State. Oh, that makes sense. Wait, hold on. Oklahoma City Thunder? Are you serious?
Is this a G League team?
I mean, it's still a small market. Like, people still sleep on Shai just because, I saw a little thing comparison. Jason Tatum to Shai. Shea, excuse me. Let's call him SGA.
Just in case he's listening.
Just I'll call him SGA. I like that. So SGA has like what, two all NBA, 2 all pros, and then Tatum's got a litany of stuff, right? Eastern Conference Final. So a lot of people haven't been introduced to SGA at a national scale, right? If they win 70, They probably still won't know what he is because it's happening in Oklahoma City, but at least like they'll be able to say they won 70.
Yeah.
Will they? Betting
They've
man.
lost a couple games recently, which has set them back, but they're pretty close. It's all going to come down to health, right?
Yep.
Caruso's missed some time. Hartenson's missed some time. So they've had to go really small with their offensive lineup or go with their 7-footer undrafted. So if Hartenson's back in a couple weeks, Chet comes back in 6 weeks, I think they've got it.
Hold on. Let me look at the standings real quick.
Okay.
This is how unplugged I couldn't tell you it was. So, yeah, they've lost a few games, but here's my the next closest team in the entire Western Conference is the Houston Rockets, and they're 7 games back. When no one's chasing you, what are you running from, right? Like,
Yeah.
are you know?
Well, and here's the thing: the Cavs are on pace to win 72.
Exactly. Let them. I would be like, hey, let's let them go win 70 or attempt to win 70.
They actually might have to win 70 because the Celtics are only 6 games back. And you know the Celtics are going to get hotter in February. So the Cavs might be forced to try to win 70.
And the Rockets aren't winning, at the pace they are going to. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to come back to the mean in the Western. I think it's this Cavs have a much higher likelihood of getting 270 than the Thunder just due to the competition they're going to play down the stretch too.
Agreed.
I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense anymore.
To win 70?
Yeah, win 67 and win the title. How about that?
Yeah. I think it only makes sense if you're going for home court or the 1 seed. Then yeah, you got to do it.
Well, your overall one seed is determined. Say, in theory, right? Say it's the Cavs in the Thunder, right? It's whoever has best record. Is it head to head? They both won
the
one.
NBA has changed it. I think it's whoever wins the dunk contest, that person from the division. I don't know. They changed the rules so much. That way, you got to make sure Zion gets in it so the West can win it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, that's all I had.
All right, social media mentions. Let's get out of here.
I got one. I got one for you. Hold on. Let me get my social media phone out. This is from the mention is on SGA being unguardable and user at user 1947 25 482 on TikTok. His body control is one of the best I've seen. Think it's the same for everyone. So I think what he's saying is SGA just he must have taken some ballet, some gymnastics, because I'm with him. It's like he pivots like it's unguardable.
Yeah.
He gets it tough too. It's never like easy.
I know. And it's like he can finish with the right or the left, and he can Euro. It's short, quick. SGA.
All right, what do you got?
All right, I got one. I'm trying to find it because there's so many of them. I don't know where he went. I think it was on Instagram. I was on TikTok. All right, this was when we talked about the Bills. And he says this. He said, this is at Flavius Josephus, FLAVIOUS _ Josephus. It was talking about the Bills. They're different this year. He says, I'll say it here with absolute remorse. The Chiefs will beat the Bills and will win the Super Bowl. I hope he's wrong. I do not. I mean, he could be right, but I hope he's wrong.
For my own sanity, like I got a team, like my entire in-law family is from Kansas City. I just need 1 year. Just give me one.
I need this year too because anyone but the Chiefs.
Anyone? Don't steal my bit.
We're making 2
I want a shirt that says
this year.
Don't steal my bits. And then on the back it says anyone but the Chiefs.
God, we will get that done. And what you need to get done is a Magic Mind mental wealth bundle. It is the mental performance shot and the sleep elixir. Use our promo code. That is magicmind.com/Big Ben K Win Jan. You get 45% off the bundle, which includes the mental performance shot, helps me get on my day, that sharp, clean energy, and the sleep elixir, faster, quicker rest, deeper sleep.
All right, let's get us out of here. At Big Ben K Win, at Big Ben K Win on all your social media. We got. Are we still on TikTok? Or are we banned?
No, we're back. We're on.
Boom, we're back. We're no longer banned. We're banned then unbanned.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter, X. We're on Blue Sky. We're not on Blue Sky yet.
Not yet.
We're not there yet, but we are on Threads. We are everywhere you get your social media, as well as you get your podcast. If you're listening on this podcast, follow, listen, subscribe, 5-star us. Give us a shout out. Give us a comment. If you like what we say, tell us. If you don't like what we say, tell us. And then we'll make sure that we correct why you don't like what we say actually on the podcast. Go Bills. Anyone but the Chiefs. Don't steal my bits.
Go Commanders.
Ooh.
Oh,